and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavor show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So, our source material today, it really throws us into the deep end with Ambridge, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's this complex little world.
We're not just looking at one thing. It feels like a perfect storm. We've got this physical disaster, then some really raw personal conflict, and also this thread of long-term emotional recovery.
That's it, exactly. 3 major things happening all at once. You got the very practical problem with the village shop. Resilience is key there.
Yeah.
Then, bang, you switch to this immediate family drama around George getting out. Very tense.
Right.
And sort of humming underneath all that, you have Alice and Christopher and their own quiet, really difficult journey of healing.
So our mission today, basically, is to try and untangle these threads a bit. Pinpoint where the real emotional friction is,
Uh-huh.
And understand what it's actually costing these people personally. It's like a pressure cooker.
It really is. A snapshot of a community stretched incredibly thin.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the shop. The physical problem.
Right, the shop. It's clear the community is feeling this one hard. The rebuild. It's taking way, way longer than expected.
And nobody knows when it'll actually be done.
Yes.
Right? The builders haven't given a date.
No firm date. And that uncertainty that just hanging there, it really grinds people down. You can feel the drain on morale.
Yeah, and Susan really brings that home. She says the last few months dealing with, well, the rats and the closures have been even more tricky than running the place during COVID. I mean, wow.
That's a huge statement, isn't it? Puts it in perspective.
To say rats are worse than a global pandemic.
Well, I think it speaks to that relentless close-up fatigue.
Mhm.
You know, COVID was awful globally, but this shock thing is her world, her identity, just stuck in limbo.
Right, it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she needs to keep busy, needs a distraction.
Which naturally leads her to this plan.
The COVID-style service is back. A temporary 1-week delivery thing.
Yeah, using the essentials they managed to rescue and store in the church. She's wrapping them for free, getting them out there.
And it's not about money. She's clear on that.
No, not at all. She says it's not a money spinner. It's about making a statement about our place in the community, providing the basics. It's pure community spirit, really.
And the list of stuff is great biscuits, milk, bread, papers, but specific soups, cream of chicken, tomato.
Yeah, the details matter.
And toiletries too. Toilet rolls, tampons, nappies. The real essentials people rely on. She's thinking it through.
Absolutely. But then you have Neil, her husband. He's supportive, kind of.
But realistic.
Exactly. He knows it's a lot of work. Calls it a daft idea, actually. Says it'll be a lot of hassle.
But he gets why she needs to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. He understands it's about her needing that purpose right now. So he
Right.
backs her, even with the doubts.
And there's that quiet moment in the church they mentioned. Cold, peaceful.
Yeah, loading the supplies. And they notice the smell. Ancient stone. Not rats.
Yeah, right. A small win. The pest control actually worked.
A little bit of calm before the next storm. Because just as they find that peace...
The focus shifts dramatically to George.
Yeah, talk about whiplash. From quiet stone to this brewing family explosion. George is getting out tomorrow, Friday.
And Emma's trying to sort of manage the homecoming, inviting people to Will's first before George's maids show up.
Trying to ease him back in, maybe, but Christopher is just not having it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Christopher's reaction isn't just, no thanks.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It's absolute no way, he says. The resentment is just pouring off him.
He says, I struggle not to hate him, and I don't trust him. Says George is already treating him and his partner badly.
Yeah, even before he's properly back, Christopher's drawing a line. He will not raise a glass to his release. Period.
And that concession he makes about when he first heard George was in trouble over the shank.
Oof, yeah. That was raw.
His first thought was basically, good, let him see what it feels like. Framed for something he didn't do. Just like
George did to Alice.
Exactly. He felt bad for Emma later, he says, but that initial flash of vengeance,
Yeah.
it tells you everything about how deep that wound is.
It really does. For Christopher, George coming back isn't closure, it's like poking a bruise. He says George will never be family to me.
But then you have other people. Fallon, Jolene, they seem relieved.
Right, that's the complex part. They saw George helping them with something as a brave choice. They were glad the hearing went okay for him. They're focused on the present, maybe, or potential for change.
Whereas Christopher is anchored in the past, trauma.
Completely. And what really throws Christopher, it seems, is Alice's reaction.
He's amazed. Even Alice felt sorry for him on Sunday, he says. Why is that such a big deal?
Well, think about it. George is in trouble for basically being falsely accused, which is precisely the nightmare George put Alice through.
Yeah, right. The irony.
So for Alice to find empathy for him in that situation, it shows how far she's come in her own recovery, maybe.
Yeah.
But for Christopher, who's still struggling with his trauma around Alice and George,
Seeing her forgive, or at least feel sorry for, the guy who hurt them both must be incredibly difficult. Maddening, even.
it complicates everything for him. So connecting the dots. The community is split, aren't they? Emma wants her son back, needs relief. Others, like Christopher, are living with the damage George caused. There's no easy answer.
Forgiveness isn't communal, it's personal. And George's return forces everyone's hand.
Exactly. Which kind of leads us nicely into Alice and Christopher's own stuff. Their recovery is happening right alongside this George drama.
Yeah, Christopher mentions Alice says she'll just have a normal day tomorrow, but he's worried she's actually trying to avoid the whole big homecoming.
Understandable, but her problems aren't just about George, are they? There's this other big thing brewing.
The home farm situation. She's quite upset that Adam and Rory are taking charge.
And then Christopher drops that bombshell. Brian had practically promised a farm to her, just recently.
Wait, hang on. Promised her, and now he's pulled it back when she was actually considering it.
Seems like it. A huge rug pull, like you said. She was taking it seriously.
Why would Brian do that now? It feels like the worst possible timing, undermining her when she's doing well.
Christopher thinks, well, he speculates it's Brian's fear. The worry that she'll start drinking again. He's looking at statistics, maybe?
Even though she's doing amazingly well. That's harsh.
It's incredibly harsh. It's like the institution, the family structure itself, is holding her past against her future, even as she's proving them wrong. Talk about pressure.
It's a massive burden. Fighting for recovery while the people closest to you are basically betting against you. But this leads to Christopher's big confession, doesn't it? About loving Alice.
Oh, yeah. That part is incredibly honest and painful. He talks about living on edge all the time, feeling like the anxiety's burnt into your nervous system.
Constant tension, the emotional cost.
It's profound. And he admits how impossible it felt when her drinking was bad, feeling like a nag, a hypocrite, controlling, too needy, just trapped.
Trying to help, but feeling like you're failing. Or worse, part of the problem.
Exactly. And that struggle brings him to this core realization. It's heartbreaking.
He says he'll never love anyone the way I loved Alice. But he knows he can never be with her again. He accepts it.
That's the killer insight, isn't it? Love isn't enough. Sometimes love is the thing you have to walk away from to survive.
He explicitly says trying to save the relationship came close to destroying me.
Yeah.
That's... wow.
And the real turning point for him. Only when I stopped hoping love would save us that I started to get some of myself back. He had to let go of that shared hope.
Is that common, do you think? That recovery for the partner means giving up on the shared future, even if the love is still there.
It seems like a crucial, incredibly difficult step for Christopher, anyway. He had to detach to protect himself. His intense love, his drive to save her, was actually making him vulnerable, maybe even enabling the situation in some way. It sounds like the ultimate sacrifice, really, giving up the future to reclaim himself.
So this deep dive, we've seen a lot. Susan's almost heroic efforts with the shop delivery.
Community resilience.
Then the deep, bitter divisions over George's return and forgiveness.
Yeah, the personal conflicts flaring up.
And finally, Christopher's really painful realization about sacrificing love for his own survival.
It's striking how these things are all tangled together. The shop crisis distracts Susan, maybe helps her cope. But for Christopher, George's return just intensifies his personal battle, brings it all back to the surface. The village might get rebuilt, but the emotional foundations, they're still shaky.
So what does this all mean?
Well, I keep coming back to Alice and Home Farm. What does it mean for someone's recovery when the very structures around them, family, farm, legacy, are still weighed down by the fear of their past? Brian's worry about relapse, holding that against her future. It shows that even when someone is changing, proving themselves, that institutional memory, that fear, can still block their path. That feels like a huge ongoing challenge for Alice and maybe for Ambridge itself. How do you move forward when the past keeps casting such a long shadow?
So what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just
And,
moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the archers. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's,
This one.
yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever